Let's talk about something unsettling. What if your own life story, all the little pieces you've shared online for years, was being quietly scooped up, assembled, and turned into a weapon aimed directly at you? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a silent, automated system that does exactly that. And look, this isn't about some hacker in a hoodie guessing your password. No, this is about a system that builds a perfect reflection of you, a digital mirror, and then uses it to trick not just your bank, but your own brain. We're going to show you precisely how your public data is weaponized. Let's get into it.
And this isn't some abstract, far-off idea. It's happening right now, with every single like, every old comment, every photo you've ever shared. It's not a person watching you. It's an automated process, a ghost in the machine that harvests all the scattered pieces of your life. It patiently gathers all that data you leave behind and builds a digital twin, a mirror so perfect, so detailed, that it can fool the people and institutions you trust the most. And yeah, it can even fool you. So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the ghost itself, the data. Then we'll get into the psychological traps these systems set up. We're going to map out the entire anatomy of the heist and really get into the cognitive tricks that make it all work. And then, most importantly, we're going to give you a defensive playbook and a whole new mindset to protect yourself.
All right, so let's start with the big paradox of our online lives. The very platforms that promise us connection and community, well, they're also creating a massive, unguarded vulnerability for every single one of us. Every piece of your personal history, stuff that used to be a source of connection with your friends and family, is now basically a public weapon just waiting to be picked up. And the crazy part is, this isn't an accident. It's a fundamental feature of how the modern internet is designed. It's a system built for sharing, and that system is now being exploited on an industrial scale. So what is this weapon actually made of? It's your digital footprint. We tend to think of this as just a passive collection of old memories, like a digital scrapbook. But that is a dangerously outdated way to see it. In reality, it's an active blueprint of your life. Every click, every search, every old social media profile you've totally forgotten about, it's a breadcrumb. And these automated systems, they're designed to do one thing: follow that trail. Not to remember the good old days, but to find the weak spots and break in. Let's make this real. Think about that old forum post from 10 years ago where you mentioned your first car was a 1998 Honda Civic. Or that restaurant review you left talking about your hometown. Or, that picture of your first dog, Buddy, that you put online. To you, that's just forgotten history, what we call data exhaust. But to a data scraping bot, it's a golden puzzle piece. It is the raw material they use to predict your security questions, to guess your passwords, and to build a profile so accurate it feels like magic. But it's not magic, it's an assembly line. Okay, so now let's look at how this raw data is turned into a weapon. It's something called the profile saturation trap. This is the critical next move, where all that data becomes a psychological tool. It's an exploit designed to make a complete stranger feel like a trusted friend, basically blindfolding your common sense and hijacking your gut feelings. This is where the digital ghost starts to look and sound like someone you should absolutely trust. Imagine this. You get a call. The person on the other end sounds calm, professional. They say they're from your bank's fraud department. Now, you're skeptical, right? As you should be. But then they say, "Just to verify, ma'am, I see you went to Northwood High. Is that right? Go Pirates? And was your first car that 98 Civic?" In that one instant, a biological switch in your brain flips. Your entire threat detection system just goes offline. The fact that they know these little forgotten details makes them seem impossibly legitimate. And your resistance to whatever they ask for next, it drops to almost zero. And the fallout from falling into this trap is absolutely devastating. The financial loss, which we call identity liquidation, is swift and it's often total. But the psychological trauma, that can be even worse. It's the feeling that your own life, your own memories, were collected and used as a weapon against you. It creates this deep, lingering paranoia, systematically hollowing out your sense of privacy maybe forever. It's a violation that goes so much deeper than just losing money. So how do they actually pull this heist off? It is so important to understand this isn't a one-off lucky hack. This is a clinical, multi-stage intelligence operation. It's an assembly line. We're going to break it down piece by piece, like a systems analyst profiling a digital virus, so you can see the predictable, repeatable process that's working behind the scenes. It all starts with automated bots that crawl the web, just ingesting billions of pieces of your public data. Then, an AI steps in to connect the dots, linking your hometown to your mother's maiden name to your first pet's name.
With all this correlated data, they call it the knowledge, the scammer builds a believable story. They use that story to get the one final piece of the puzzle they need from you. With that, they take over a key account like your email, and then the identity bleed begins, cascading across your entire digital life until there's nothing left.
Let's zoom in on that first step, crawl and ingest. These bots are not looking for your password file. They are playing a much, much longer game. They are systematically scanning billions of data points across social media, old forums, public records, and especially those creepy people search websites. They're not stealing files, they're collecting relational links, the building blocks of your life story, the very things you'd use to prove you are who you say you are.
So after the bots have gathered all these random puzzle pieces, an AI takes over. It joins the dots. It sees you mentioned your 2005 Honda on a car website and that you graduated in 1998 on a reunion page. The system looks at that and thinks, Honda here, 98 over there. I see a pattern. It now has the building blocks for a password guess like Honda 98. The goal here is something called predictive vulnerability. The system doesn't need to steal your password. It reconstructs the logic you use to create them. It's like it knows how you think about security before you even type a single letter.
So we've seen the mechanics of the system, we've seen the how, but the real question is, why is this so lethally effective? Well, this isn't just a technical exploit, it's a profoundly psychological one. The entire system is engineered from the ground up to bypass your rational thought and hack the ancient trust mechanisms that are hardwired right into your brain.
Think of your brain as having two operating systems. You've got System 2, your conscious, analytical mind. It's slow, it's logical, it's cautious. It's the part of you that sees an unknown number and immediately thinks, scam. But the attacker isn't talking to that part of your brain. They use the knowledge they scraped to speak directly to System 1. That's your autopilot, your gut feeling. By presenting a shared history, they create what's called assumptive rapport, tricking your gut into feeling safe. It's like they're bypassing your security firewall to talk directly to the motherboard.
And there's a name for this glitch in our human programming, the Familiarity Heuristic. It's a survival trait from our tribal past. If a stranger wandered into camp and knew the name of our chief and the river where we fished, they were probably safe. They were one of us. This heuristic kept us alive for thousands of years. But in the digital age, this trusted feature has become a massive automated vulnerability. The scammer isn't hacking your computer, they're hacking your biographical integrity by exploiting a process you don't even know is running.
And this right here makes the danger painfully clear. The attacker uses their knowledge to create a state of cognitive ease. It just feels right. The authority of knowledge they have is so much more powerful and faster than any security warning you've ever read. Your logical brain, your System 2, simply can't catch up. By the time it's even lacing up its running shoes, your gut, your System 1, has already finished the race and given away the prize, because this person knew things only a legitimate person should know.
Okay, that was a lot, and it's pretty dark, I know, but we are not ending this on a note of fear. Now, we talk about how to fight back. This is about empowerment. This isn't about being scared, it's about being prepared. We're going to give you a concrete, strategic playbook to poison the data trail, build a shield around your real identity, and make your public information totally useless to these harvesting systems. Your first and most important defense is the impossible knowledge audit. This is an absolute non-negotiable rule. If you get an unsolicited call, text, or email, and the person on the other end leads with private information about you, your old address, your dog's name, your high school mascot, you have to assume the motive is 100% predatory. A real bank will never use secretly gathered trivia to prove their identity to you. There are no what-ifs. There are zero exceptions to this rule.
Next, let's move from defense to offense with the silo shield strategy. First, you have to poison the data trail. For any non-essential account, a store loyalty program, a newsletter sign-up, create fake biographical data. Your mother's maiden name is now Blueberry. Your first pet was Spaceship. This makes their data totally useless. Second, use digital removal tools to actively erase your profiles from those big people search data brokers. And finally, a randomized password policy is mandatory. Never, ever use real biographical data in your passwords again.
And here,
is your weapon. I want you to memorize this script. Say it out loud. This is the identity friction script. When an attacker tries to use their knowledge to build that fake trust, you state this calmly and clearly. I don't verify my identity based on information you've gathered online. If you are legitimate, I will call you back on the official line. This phrase is a firewall. A real professional will immediately respect it. A scammer will falter. This script shuts the entire attack down cold.
Okay, this brings us to our final point, and it's more than just a summary. It's a new doctrine for living in the modern world. It is a fundamental mindset shift in how we have to think about our personal information if we want to protect ourselves from these kinds of automated psychological attacks. Here is the bottom line. Your history, your memories, your data, in the wrong hands, it is a weapon. Where an automated scraper sees a data pattern to be harvested, you must now see a target on your back that needs to be protected. Your life story is yours, and you cannot afford to just give the enemy the ammunition they need to build a weapon against you. Don't hand-deliver the script to people who want to impersonate you. So I want to leave you with this mantra for the new era of digital self-defense. Say it with conviction, because it is a declaration of independence from the data profile that has been built for you without your consent. I am not my data. It's a commitment to a proactive defense, poisoning the trail, siloing your real secrets, and adopting a permanent zero-trust policy toward any stranger who claims to know you. So we've seen how automated harvesting builds this digital mirror of your life, a reflection so perfect it can exploit the psychology of the familiarity heuristic to bypass your rational mind. We've taken apart the system and we've laid out the defense. The core principle here is data siloing, creating a deliberate wall between your public persona and your private, authentic identity. So now you can see the system. The only question left is, what steps will you take starting today to shatter that mirror and reclaim your digital self?